So we're gonna be re-signing Alex Len right here. 3 years, 23 million in total, about 8 million a year, and he's our center for now. For the future, but we'll see what the future holds. So our GM wants us to ship off Leandro Barbosa, and we're offering a trade to the Jazz. So they threw in Jared Dudley, and that's another huge contract that we just got rid of, which is very good for us. Taking a look at the Western All-Stars, our boy Devin Booker made it onto the All-Star team, which is actually pretty surprising to me. He's averaging 19 points, 5 assists, 1.5 steals per game, 2.5 rebounds per game, and he's shooting at a good percentage. That 3-point percentage could get up, but I can only imagine he's shooting a lot. So at the end of the season, Russell Westbrook won MVP, Joel Embiid Rookie of the Year, Tyreek Evans 6th Man, Andre Drummond Defensive Player of the Year, and then looking at the All-NBA first team, no one. All-NBA second team, we don't have anybody. If you guys want to see who's on these teams, just pause the video. But we're getting past every team, and we don't have anybody on any of these teams except for the All-Rookie second team. We have Tyler Ulis on that squad right there. He averaged 9 points and a couple of assists. So taking a look at the records, we were last in the West, but we were not last in the NBA. I think we had the third worst record. At least we won 17 games at home. We went 25-57, which is fine for this season because we knew we were going to be bad. But we're projected to get the third pick, which is projected to be De'Aaron Fox. And you know what? I wouldn't be upset with getting De'Aaron Fox. So, taking a look at how our team fared this year, Devin Booker had 19.3 points per game, 2.3 rebounds per game, 5.66 assists per game, 1.4 steals per game. He did average about 2.5 turnovers a game. He shot 45% and 38% from 3-point line, and then 81% from the free throw line. But he allowed 12 points per game, which was the most on our team. That is not good. I said he could be good defensively, but he didn't have a good showing this year with defense. And Eric Bledsoe had a solid year, nothing too crazy. He did average 7.5 assists per game. TJ Warren is just a solid player, you know. Tyler Ulis impressed me though, 9 points per game and 6 assists per game in about 10 less minutes than Eric Bledsoe. He did shoot 25% from the 3-point line, which is not good at all. Tyler Ulis is still very young, so he could have a future with us. Allen Williams had a solid year, 8.6 points and 9 rebounds a game. Marquise Chris had an okay season. You saw he averaged 9 points a game and 6 rebounds. And then looking at PERs, Eric Bledsoe led us, and then Devin Booker was right behind him, and Allen Williams too. But a lot of people played under average, especially Dragon Bender, who averaged 5 points per game, 3.2 rebounds, and nothing else really, and had an 8.9 PER, which is horrible. Now, taking a look at the NBA playoffs, we're simulating, and we know what's going to happen pretty much. So, it went to Game 7, and the Golden State Warriors beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, the owner is actually bugging. He wants us to go out and sign an 88 overall player, which is very unlikely. So, our head coach, Earl Watson, actually retired, which is confusing to me. But Dirk Nowitzki and Paul Pierce are inducted into the Hall of Fame. 2 legends that are going to be gone from our game. So now it's a draft lottery. We're projected to get the 3rd pick. So, the Kings get their 14th pick that they were projected to get, and we're skipping right now as the Trailblazers get their pick selected. And we come up with the 4th overall pick. Just like in real life, the Suns have the 4th overall pick in our MyGM mode right here. So now we are going to be signing some staff members. We signed Kevin McHale as our head coach. He has a whole lot of head coach badges that'll help us out, I think. and we're signing up a bunch of other players. We also signed Paul Pierce as our assistant coach because he has a lot of potential. So looking at our draft board, we're just doing our top 5 players, and Markel Fultz is going to be our first player, obviously, and Josh Jackson is our second player that we're looking at because we need a small forward. So Jason Tatum is our third player that we're looking at, and Hamidou Diallo, who actually just said he's removing his name from the NBA draft. So we were looking at him. But now we're looking at trades for Eric Bledsoe. Now, we've talked about Eric before. He's a very good player, don't get me wrong. He's a budding all-star and pretty much almost a superstar in the NBA. But I just don't think he fits our organization. You know, he's an athletic point guard, and he's also a very good playmaker. But he's a little bit on the older side. Even though he's still relatively young and he's in his prime, when we get into our prime as a team, he's going to be out of his own prime. So we're looking at this trade for Evan Fournier. And now Evan Fournier is a very good player, but he's not even the meat and potatoes of this trade. The Orlando Magic are offering us Evan Fournier and I think the 6th pick, which is very good for us. Not only are we getting a very good player in Evan Fournier, but we're getting the number 6 overall pick, which could be a superstar for us. So looking at Evan Fournier, he's a pretty good scorer. He's also solid on defense, and he can run in transition and finish well around the basket. So Evan Fournier is a solid player. We know he's not going to be an all-star or anything. He's just going to give us very good minutes off the bench because we have Devin Booker. But he's a great option off the bench. As you see, he can finish at the basket and he can also shoot. On defense, he annoys the hell out of you too. He's guarding Devin Booker this game and he was just annoying him, I could tell. So, Evan Fournier, welcome yourself to the Phoenix Suns. He's going to welcome himself right here. Pump fake with an emphatic slam dunk right there. Let's take another look at this. Oh, there we go. So we're accepting that trade and welcome Evan Fournier to the team. So now we're trading Dragon Bender. Dragon Bender averaged 5 points, 3.2 rebounds a game. That is not good at all. I know he's a rookie, but you know, he's just got to be better than that. I don't think he has much of a future with this team. You know, he's not a terrible shooter, but his shot is very inconsistent right now. And I think he's a huge project to work on. So, Dragon Bender can be worked on, but we have a nice young duo in Marquise Chris and Alex Len at the 4 and the 5. And what's the point of having Dragon Bender back them up? So, we're also trading Brandon Knight, who's just Brandon Knight. Everyone knows Brandon Knight. We're getting the Knicks' 5th overall pick this year and their pick next year. And that's going to be the last trade of this video, ladies and gentlemen. In our next episode, we'll be going straight into the draft lottery. So for now, I'm out of here. Peace.